Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 18, Melody versus Marsau, Round 5. And we didn't even get that to the very end. Y'all already know it was like the last 10 minutes, last 5 minutes. And we're gonna roll on in the next week with the bullshit. But anyway, Tisha finally shows up to Tiffany's event. You know, she's speaking and smiling and everything. She feels like it's a little bit of tension between she and Stormy. She's unsure about what's going on. She feel like on the phone they was cool, and now we in person. Now you want to act like we got an issue. She don't know how to feel about that. She sits down there, she's eating. She feel like everybody's super quiet. It's almost like she knows everybody was talking about her. There's an elephant in the room, and it's her. Kimmy finally breaks the tension, like, well, girl, we was talking about the Black Expo. We was discussing the Expo. You know, Kimmy thinks that everybody, you know, should get together again, you know, so that maybe we could, you know, give you guys some input, some feedback. Maybe we can beat this dead horse, and I can give you this unsolicited advice. That, at least that's how Tisha sees it. She sees it as, I don't need no feedback. I'm done. We done hashing it out. I'm done talking about it. I don't need the feedback. Okay? Thank you, but no thank you. She's over it. Kimmy brings up the Fletchers, you know, and the fact that they had concern. Nell, you know, she's there, so she doubles down on it. She and Chris are Huntsville. You know, she like, me and my husband, we are North Huntsville, and for y'all not to invite us, include us, whatever, it was a slight. Simple as that. Because she was told that she would be included. Like, face to face, Tisha told her that she was going to include her, that she would make sure that they were absolutely included and that they were there. And then all of a sudden they weren't. Like, I don't know, did you forget? And Tisha's like, oh yeah, I mentioned it at the girls' party, but I mean, you know, I guess I did forget, whatever. She says she forgot to send a personal invitation. Tisha says that it's dead, but it's dead. She's very curt with this lady, and Tisha was on, so she was on one. She was on one. She was and it was mainly because she was feeling attacked, you know. But she said it was dead, you know. Feel however you want to feel, but she's done talking about it. Nell calls it out, you know, calls out the shade, and you know, Tisha says that the shade was not intent. You know, I had no intent in that, girl. Okay. Nell feels like Tisha, I guess now that she has an audience now, she's, you know, giving a different energy than before, because when they sat down, it was something different as well. And so now here we are in front of the girls, and you want to be a little, you know, spicy. Tiffany, she over there nursing, but she would rather be over there in the mess. She lets us know that. Tisha, she doesn't want to hear, like I said, any feedback. That she continues to reiterate that I don't want y'all's feedback. I don't care. I'm not, like, we're not doing this. Kimmy sometimes, you know, she has her messy moments, and this was one of them, because it don't even concern you. And yet you're like, well, why, Tisha? Why don't you want to talk about it? It's obvious y'all are agitating her. It's written all over her. In her body language says, in a minute, I'm going to get loud. In a minute, it's going to really be a back and forth. And she's trying. Y'all are not taking the short, curt responses as back the fuck up off me. But Kimmy want to pry. But why? But why don't you want to talk about it, though? But why don't you want feedback? Why not? Stop, Kimmy. Stop it. Tiffany, she done finished nursing, so she can go back over there and be messy and join the ladies. She asked the ladies if they're ready to meet Baby Ace. They meet Baby Ace, just staring at Kimmy. He was just staring at her. First he was staring at her like this, and then he was just staring at her. That's so sweet. I love it. It means, I feel like it means like you vibrate high. You know, when babies stare at you, when strangers just want to talk to you, when animals, you know, are loving towards you, and they want to be around you, you vibrate high. Your spirit is good. They rehash this expo yet again. We're gonna rehash it one more time now that Tiffany is over. Tiffany, she has her jabs to throw, so she got her stuff to say, and of course she's throwing them and directing them right at Tisha. She brings up the $100 again, and now that's back out on the table. Nell, she wants the details on the $100 gate, and Tisha ignores the question, just sipping her waters. Nell is like, so I see she's ignoring me, but Stormy, are you ignoring me as well? So what's this with the $100? Stormy defers to Tisha, like, so do you want to tell her about the $100? Tisha says, nah, I'm done. I told y'all I'm done talking about it. Y'all can talk about it. Don't ask me nothing. I'm not adding to the conversation. Nell say, I'm not talking to her no way. I'm talking to you. So, I mean, what was with the $100, Stormy? Stormy says that her issue isn't even, when it comes to the $100, any of that, her issue isn't with Tisha. So she doesn't need to address Tisha. Her issue was with Marsau and the fact that he always trying to be a woman. She don't like that. And Tiffany is asked to explain, because she's the one who brought it up. And Tiffany gonna say, I don't remember bringing up the $100, but girl, it was 5 seconds ago. Like you just said it. I'm surprised that we didn't run the camera back on her, because she absolutely brought up the $100. She tried to throw it in on the slide, like on the under her breath. Girl. Tiffany begins to explain, very shady, in a very shady way. It's very colorful. Tisha just gets up, because we're not about to do this. She just gets up and excuses herself. Stormy goes to follow, because Stormy feels like, nah, girl, come on back. You're not about to run from conflict or run from criticism. We don't do that here. Come sit down. Come sit down. Because when it's anybody else, Tisha be ready to sit back and ask what she want to ask and pry the way she wants to pry. So get on in here. She brings her back to the group, and Nell continues. She says at the dinner they were told nobody was charged anything, and to hear the contrary, she's just confused. And Tisha, she is very nonchalant about it. It's just like whatever, girl. Melody adds that she was also told that Kimmy and Maurice were charged $100, and that Tisha specifically says otherwise. Nell says that Tisha specifically says otherwise. Kimmy, she needs clarification as well, because it's not a joke. It's not really a laughing matter. You can't really take a nonchalant approach to this. What y'all did with this money? Like, what is this? It's getting a little muddy. Tisha says, they didn't make no profit, but they paid out of pocket. She really doesn't owe them an explanation when it comes to her finances. She's not about to discuss that with them. And so the fact that they trying to, get her to roll out what, her books say, she's not here for that. But it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Stormy chimes in as well, because it doesn't add up. Wow, the mixed messages, like what's going on here? Tisha leaves. She's ready to go. She's ready to leave. She says, y'all have an expo and do it up. Do it how you gonna do it. But she done hearing about how y'all feel about her black expo. Kimmy don't want her to feel attacked. She don't want her to feel attacked. Tisha feels like the criticism has been negative, since the expo. And she just doesn't want to hear it. Kimmy, she feels like maybe they should have like a town hall of sorts, and so they can hash it out that way. It'll be a little bit more beneficial, more positive. Tisha's open to the constructive criticism, but I'll leave all that other stuff. She's not about to be attacked every time she sit down with them. Stormy clarifies that her issue was never with Tisha, that it was with Marsau. She's like, you was on my side in the moment, and then you gonna come back around full circle and try to check me about how I talk to your husband. That's I got a problem with that. Marsau be sowing discord between you and the ladies, like he a girl, like this bitch, and she doubles down on this. I feel like he be acting like a girl. Nell gonna say in her confessional Um, had she said that to me about my husband, oh, I would have absolutely given her shade. I was like, ooh, not shade, girl. She said it like, I'm like, I mean, what now? It didn't sound threatening. If that's what she was trying to give, it didn't. That ain't what it was at all. Anyway, Stormy, she feels like Mark, like I said, he stirs the pot with the ladies, and then they come to her with the issues that they have with him or whatever, and now she don't have no friends because that's his goal. He don't want her to have no friend group, sewing into her, pouring into her. Man, please. Anyway, Mel, she says she happy, and I'm happy you brought that up because I too have my own issues with Marsau, and he absolutely, creates issues with the ladies, and then it turns into an issue with Tisha and somebody in the group. She brings up what she was told, by Nell, but she was building with Tisha, and how is that going to work when, in her mind, when she see Marsau, she ready to, ask some questions, and get some straightening going on. How I'm supposed to do that, and I'm supposed to be building with you. I don't know if that's gonna be able to work. Tisha says that she ain't involved in his mess anymore. He can speak for himself. He been speaking for himself, and so she stays out of his mess. Stormy, she doubles down again. Yeah, I just be feeling like he be acting like a woman. Like I feel like he want to be a lady, and they laugh about it. She couldn't have said. She really shouldn't have said that many times. Like, okay, you get it by once, but over and over again, you just can't sit up in this lady's face and say that about her husband, Stormy, because you wouldn't appreciate it if it were Courtney. If it were her saying that about Courtney. Anyway, Kimmy and Maurice, they're renovating their office space, and they're going to go check in on his brother. His brother Micah is the project manager, so they go in and check on him and see what's going on. Kimmy feel like it's gonna take a little bit longer. It's not looking like they're gonna be done by the first. That's another hill to climb. She really want to get down to her conversation she had at the brunch, at the breakfast brunch baby sip and see thing. She shares with him what Nell was personally told, that she would be included, and then that they weren't. Then the money thing is growing legs, and Marsau told Nell and Chris that nobody paid anything, and that all of the event came from he and Tisha. Maurice is like, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Marsau about that. I'm just not gonna just jump on the hate bandwagon. Like, it's, first of all, it's his brother. Second of all, he gonna try to give him the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes stuff, wires get crossed and communication breaks down here and there. Kimmy adds that Marsau kind of crosses the line with the women. He done got into it with Stormy, with Tiffany, with Mel. The list goes on. He don't have no boundaries when it comes to women and what line he will and won't cross. There isn't one. And Maurice agrees. Hopefully he gonna add that to the conversation when he has this conversation, because it's a problem. It is a problem. She tells him about his little t-shirt dig towards Mel. Maurice cracks up. He finds it hilarious, but it's not funny. It's really not funny. She shares that she mentioned the town hall idea. Tisha's open to it. So hopefully, by doing that in that type of setting, with it being that type of tone, I guess, because they're not gonna actually have a town hall meeting, but they're gonna have a meeting, of the minds. And Maurice agrees that it's a good idea. Melody, she drops in on Nell at the daycare, to chat about the baby reveal. She tells her, Nell, you was a little feisty with Tisha. I don't know about that. Nell says she don't see how Tisha and them didn't even know who they were, what they did, all of that, when they're right around the corner. Marsau and Chris also had a conversation prior to the Black Expo. And so the fact that they were really left out, it's telling. It's pretty obvious to them that that's what it was. Mel is confused as well. Mel like, I'm confused because I know y'all were their biggest supporters. Y'all always up in there buying cases of black chocolate in a bottle, so I don't understand either. And Nell shares that Tisha didn't even know that they, frequenting. She didn't know that they was always around there. She didn't know that they was always going to black, spending their money. And so she doesn't really know, what Tisha knows as far as their business goes. So that's also some, that's another conversation to have. And she shares that when it comes to the business, Tisha owns 85%. And but she been kicked out. She been kicked out of her office. We're confused. Nell and Chris were there when it comes to their business, because they shared this with Tisha and Marsau, that they, it's a 50-50 split with all their businesses. And Mel schools us on the scams these Negroes be trying to pull. She says when she was married to Martell and they were in business together, she found out, there's a certification that can, it's one of them things with the government. You can get you some more money. Like, if you know how it is, it's one of them special certifications. It was a woman-owned business certification, which allows you more access, to government funding. And so husbands all over Huntsville and all of that were giving their wives a bigger percentage of the business so that they can say it's a woman-owned business, and get more money. That sounds pretty plausible. If Tisha owns 85%, that leaves 15%. We was all doing the math. And it's like, so what do the partner own? 7.5 and 7.5. Like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Something ain't right. Mel thinks that it's all smoke and mirrors. Tisha is not as involved in her business as she would like to be, as she, likes to proclaim. When it comes to the Black Expo and this money situation, Nell thinks that they should explain, what this money went towards. They need to, show us some receipts or something. Mel feels like they're being closed-mouthed about it because they didn't make no money. There isn't no money. So that's what she thinks they hiding from the truth. Because they on social media asking for donations for a needy family, a family in need that needs a home built. And so far, like within 2 weeks, they had earned like $200 or something like that. And she go to look it up on her phone, but realizes, oh, I can't look it up. I got them blocked. They got me blocked. I can't even look them up. They're like, and y'all supposed to be building a friendship? How? Y'all frenemies. If y'all ain't even unblocked each other, just hang it up. When it comes to Tisha though, Tisha and Nell, she feels like they can just be cordial. She doesn't think that Tisha's receptive to her, and so she's fine with just keeping it cordial with Tisha. They ain't gotta be friends. Mel says her issue with Marsau has nothing to do with Tisha, and so she's not gonna bring it to Tisha. She does feel like, that's been their biggest issue, like Marsau. And so she gonna talk to Marsau. She gonna have a conversation with him. Nell shares with Mel that Marsau made that comment about her being just his pretty wife. And she feels like that's the box he be trying to put Tisha in, and sabotages all of her friendships so that she can remain in that box. And Mel agrees. Mel can agree. She's like, he don't want her around no woman like me. You don't want her around no woman like me who would have helped Tisha see, who she is and see your ass for your works. That's what he's afraid of. But she's going to have a conversation with Marsau. She's not going to go to Tisha. She's not going to go to anybody else in the group, in the community. She's going to Marsau. We see Kiki and her husband at the house. This is another scene where she's trying to save face, because, girl, I just don't believe you. I don't believe you. Husband cooking. She's sharing with her husband the last few days of her life like he wasn't there. I was just so sick. Girl, he was there. She said she was sick again. That's why she didn't make it to Tiffany's event. Hopefully the doctors can find out what's wrong so that she can start showing up to people's events. Her husband thinks that the methadone is making her sick. Probably so. The withdrawal is probably what's making her sick. I mean, I ain't never been addicted to the pills, so I don't know, but it's looking like relapse. It's looking like you're using again. It's looking like you're trying to do some damage control, and it's just not coming across honest. It's just not. Anyway. Melody, she meets with Marsau. Melody, she's coming with positive energy, you know. She's coming with good intentions. So if Marsau is on some BS, he all on his own with that, because she's vibrating high today. Marsau pulls up already knowing, you know, that this conversation is more than likely going to be about the download she got, you know, by Nell, as far as their conversation went. Hopefully Mel understands his side and can see his vantage point. Mel is like, she's extra boisterous, like extra chippy and happy and all of that, you know. She's asking him how he takes his coffee and all of that. They get the small talk out of the way. And Marsau says, I like this energy. I like this energy. She says, you know, I made a conscious decision. I thought about what the etiquette class lady would say, and what she would suggest or how she would suggest I behave in this type of situation. And so I thought about that and made the conscious decision not to come in here cussing your ass out. Mel gets to the point, of course, and so you know, they're meeting in reference to the jabs that he made, you know, towards her and her businesses and her business acumen and all of that. And he says that he never called her by name. You know, he tries to explain what he says. He does explain what he says verbatim. So he doesn't leave out that he made that little t-shirt dig. And she's like, so you weren't talking about me? Because he's still saying it wasn't just about her. Mel's like, you and I both know that my business acumen goes beyond t-shirt businesses. And so for you to even try to make the jab, why? Like, why you even throwing jabs? Why are we doing that in the first place? Marsau tries to gaslight per usual. He says that this was his opinion and it just happened to affect her. And she says, so your opinion is that I just got a t-shirt business? And he says, no, my opinion is that I don't value that type of business. And she's like, excuse me, what type of business? He says he doesn't have a high opinion when it comes to products business. And she's like, so you don't have a high opinion when it comes to what you're doing? Like, I don't understand. Make it make sense, because aren't you trying to be a part of e-commerce? And he says, yeah, you know what, you're right. I don't have a high opinion of what I'm in. And she cracks up laughing in his face. He says he don't have a high opinion of the business that he's in. You know, he says it's just to make money. It's to make money. Mel feels like he's trying her. He's like, you trying me. you trying to be cute. I see you. We see each other. You made a dig. You're absolutely trying to be funny. And you trying to play me. Don't do that. Don't do that. And she pulls something out of her eyelash, you know, and he gonna say, don't cry, Mel. Don't cry. She like, excuse me, cry? I never cry over your ass. Ain't nobody crying over your ass. Not even Tisha when she finally leaves your manipulative lying ass. And she sips her drink and to be continued. To be continued. We will get the rest next week. Oh, I was so glad Mel said that. Sometimes I don't be wanting Mel to stoop back down, but when it come to Marsau, come on, girl, come on with it. Come on with it. Let's go on down right there to where he at. Let's come on down right there to where he is, because he be thinking he's getting one over on you. Nope. Until next time, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.